Good morning, gamers. Welcome back to my Minecraft Forever world. And in this episode, you can actually see. Isn't it great that you can see everything that's going on? Apologies for that whole situation in the previous episode. It looked fine in my editing software, honestly. I didn't think it was that dark. There wasn't really much to be concerned about. Even in the render afterwards, it was completely fine. It just seemed that YouTube decided to compress it like crazy. I guess because I think it does that for channels with a low amount of subscribers. Like the bit rate just doesn't apply properly. I don't know, but now I know for the future that if I'm going to do any mining, either do it off camera or turn my brightness up. Because as much as 30 brightness is very nice for the atmosphere, it is not very good for the videos. But I go on a tangent. The plan for this episode, I want to move out. I want to move out. I love my dirty hole so much, but it's just getting a little bit claustrophobic, and I feel like I could do with a proper house. You know, it's episode 3, and I don't have an actual starter house yet. This is like a pre-starter house, starter house. You know, this is like the before starter house. So I definitely want to work on a new place to live. And to do that, I need to find a bamboo forest. So I think I'm going to head north just because it kind of connects nicely. I can go this way or this way and go out over the top here and follow either up this way or around this way. I don't know. But just follow the coastline potentially. Now, not really much has gone on off camera. I did do a little bit of mining. I got some tuff and some deep slate because I know what kind of house I'm going to build. I need these materials in quite high quantities. I need a lot of dark oak wood. That's something that I need. And I think I have some, yeah, I have some saplings here. But I want to find a place to live first and then come back, gather all my materials, and then I can get onto building the house. So, first things first, let's go off on an adventure and find a bamboo forest for me to lay claim to. Oh, ow. Oh. And away I go. Guys, I think I found something incredible. I saw it on my map as I was sailing through this bit here. I saw this bit of jungle and I was like, maybe I can get to it by the river. I got close. I got pretty close here. So then I started walking. And then as I got to here, I saw this. And this is exactly the kind of bamboo forest I think I've been looking for. I did find some other bamboo forests, which you probably did see in the little montage. Hopefully. Look at the green. The green is so pretty. I don't know if it is completely isolated. Maybe I'll keep running in this direction and see if it is. But I did also find some pretty nice biomes on my way. I found this beautiful meadow biome, which has a village right at the top. And there's some cherry blossom biomes around, just in case I ever need to use any of that. I think I did also find a second ocean monument. And by I think, I know I did, because I was there. It was over here. I think that's the second one. Yeah, my first one's over here. Second one's there. So that's cool. And yes, I am quite a distance away. I really wanted to find it. And I just kept going. And I kept seeing jungle. So I just kept going, following the jungle. And I was like, okay. Hopefully, I will find it one day. And I have. And now I've just got the thought in my head of what happens about moving my stuff? And that's a great question, you may ask. Well, I'm living here. So maybe I can just do a few boat trips. Bring it all the way up here. That might be a bit of a pain, but I will do it. Because this place... Wow. There's so much bamboo. And I've never built in a bamboo forest. So this is new for me. And I'm very excited for it. Oh, this is... Okay, this bit's cool. Like, I could have a house up there. Do some extra bits down here. Like, in the valley. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna sleep and then set a waypoint. Because I forget... In the previous episode, I was taking screenshots of coordinates. But I have a waypoint system with my map. So I'm going to set a new home question mark, disable it so you don't see it, and set it as, I don't know, dark purple, and confirm. So it's not, you can't see it on the map or anything, but that's okay because I don't need to. But this, I'm going to have to clear out a lot of the bamboo though. There is a lot of bamboo. Might make some custom bamboo if I have the means for that. But I think it'd be really cool is if this is like a gateway entrance here and I build like a bunch of different buildings down here, maybe like my main house up on one of these hills like here, and then I can have a river flowing through it down along the entrance, and this bit just seems to go down. What's the Y level? 78? Yeah, this bit just keeps going down. So I could have the pathway flowing down here into some extra bits and pieces over this way. This will look cool. This will look really cool. I think that has to be what I do. I feel lost, by the way. This place is huge. I completely missed the jungle temple. But this place is massive. I think I can get a lot on this little island. I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited. Yeah, I also need to head back over to here. This is where I've left my boat. It's got a bunch of items in it that I found along the way. I found some buried treasure, and some shipwrecks, and some nether portals. I should probably grab all that stuff and somehow bring it over this way. Okay, this is definitely it. This is definitely the location. I think I have Cheaty McCheat Cam to have a better look at this. Yeah. This looks incredible. I think house here on top of this bit, path leading all the way down. I actually might have my house put in this little area here with the mountains surrounding it, and then that should just be a bit easier actually. Yeah, that would be much easier to build it on. So maybe over here. Yeah, over here is the location that it's going to go. Before I get to doing that, I need to move quite a lot of my stuff over. So I think I'm going to just place down a couple of chests over here. Maybe here. If I'm going to put the house here, some chests over here would be quite nice. Now, I didn't bring any wood with me, but I think... Okay, no, I can't do that. I need... Oh, I have a crafting table on me. Incredible. And then I can turn this into wood. Like that, and then turn it into bamboo planks, and then I can turn it into chests. Wow, that is not a lot. That is... Wow, that was one chest. Oof, that's incredible. Okay. This is going to take a lot more bamboo. Okay, 3 double chests. That was, I think, about 4 stacks of bamboo. Bamboo is not a very valid resource to be using as wood, but there's a lot of it and it grows really fast. So maybe I'm going to be eating my own words there. Plus, I don't actually have a lot of resources back at the house. So I have a feeling that is going to be enough to kind of pick everything up from home and then bring it all the way up here. I am now just realizing how far away this is, and it's really sinking in. So if I go out this way and round... Oof. I'm pretty sure this is like a 15 to 20 minute boat ride. I think it took me about 35 minutes, 40 minutes to find this, but I did get stopped off on the way. So I'm going to be going back and forth for a good while. I'm going to bring over as much as I can. I probably won't bring over everything. But I will be back when that is finally done. Well, this is it. It's raining. I think the sun is setting. My inventory is full of the things that I'm going to be bringing with me. I haven't brought everything because I'm going to be quite honest. I cannot be bothered to do more than one trip. So this is everything that I'm bringing with me. If I need anything from here, I'm sure I will come back for it, like the andesite maybe. But I can always go and gather this stuff again. But this is it. Wow. This is really hitting the feels. My dirty hole. Grumple. Don't worry, Grumple. You will have a new place to stand over at the new area. Don't you worry. And you might get a fresh new painted coat. Paint a coat? You might get a fresh new coat of paint. That was what I was trying to say. Anyway, this is it. So long. And farewell to my first pre-starter house. Well, that's it. I've finally moved everything over. It didn't take as long as I thought it would do because I managed to cram it all into bundles and my inventory, so luckily that's all sorted. And if I ever need anything, I will head back and grab if I need to. There's not really much there left over that I didn't bring with me, so I shouldn't need to visit that place again, but I might set up another portal there in the future just so, you know, just because it's humble beginnings. And also Grumple is over there. I need to move Grumple. But now I just kind of need to collect a bunch of resources ready for this build. And I think I actually have the right amount of tuff that I need. I think this is all the tuff that I need. I think that's all the cobble that I need. I'm going to need, I think, about 6 stacks of deep slate. I need 2.5 stacks of spruce logs, which I don't have a single spruce log. I need 5 stacks of dark oak logs, and I have 36. So that's not going to be fun to do. I need a lot of moss, but luckily over here I have this azalea tree. So down here there'll hopefully be like a decent sized lush cave that I can get a bunch of moss carpets from. If not, I can bone meal. Oh, I don't think I brought my bones over with me. I did. 39 bones. Okay, that's not too bad. That's what, a stack and a half bone meal. But the big kicker is sand. My build requires, I think, worked out to be 10 stacks of sand, and I have half a stack. So that's going to be a while. That's going to be a lot of shovels. Now, I know the materials make it sound like it's a big build, but it's not a very big build. It's just a lot of materials. And honestly, the numbers don't correlate. It's very weird. But without further ado, let me go and gather those materials, and I will meet you back here. I'm back, and that actually took so long. All of the resources are in these 2 chests here. And I think it took me about 4 or 5 hours to get everything. It's actually the next day in real life right now. Like, when I was gathering all these resources, that was yesterday. I had to go to bed straight away because I was tired. I was so tired because it took me so long, but I didn't want to stop gathering until I got everything, and I've got everything. And you remember when I said I needed about 9 stacks of sand? That was a lie, because I need sandstone and smooth sandstone. And 1 stack of sandstone is 4 stacks of regular sand. So what was that? 9. So I had about 10 stacks of sand. 40 stacks of sand. 40 stacks of sand. 40. But I didn't actually mine 40. I'm over exaggerating. I ended up finding a desert over this way, and I started digging, I think, in this hole. There's like a hole over here where I just dug the sandstone out. So I did originally start with the sand, and I collected the sand, but then I was like, why don't I just mine the sandstone and then smelt the sandstone? And that's what I did. I also found some spruce, and I found some dark oak, and I went down into my little lush cave bit here to pick up all those moss carpets. So this is everything that I need to build the house. And a little disclaimer: yes, I did build this in creative, and yes, I am using Lightmatica. But that's because I'm not creative enough to do it all in survival. I need to be able to fly around, and honestly, it's become so fun because I treat it like it's an art piece now. And it's so therapeutic to just place a couple blocks, fly away, look at how it looks and go, I don't like that, and then destroy it. And it's amazing. But anyway, enough rambling on. How about I just get into this? So, grab some snacks, because a montage is about to commence. Guys, it's finished. And let's just say, I'm very, very proud of this build. I took a lot of inspiration from a couple Instagram posts, some by Massive Spec, some by Mr. Matt Ranger, and it is, I'm just loving it. I'm in love with it. I love it so much. It's so good. Now you can see I went for a bit more of a gradient on the way up. I went from smooth sandstone to regular sandstone to strip birch at the top. I think in my hardcore world I had a bit of a more of a texturing thing going on, which I don't know. I tried texturing this at first and it just, yeah, you can see it a bit better here going all the way up. I tried texturing it first and it just didn't look right, and it was very easy to do. You just I started with a wall of sandstone like this, and then I went to a wall of smooth sandstone to sandstone, and then to blend them together a bit more I just kind of chopped away at it and just had it do that, and I think that just ties itself together a bit nicer. And I actually think my pickaxe is going to break taking down this wall that I've just built to showcase that this is, yeah, and there it goes. Let's just quickly craft up a new one. I have enough diamonds for it. I need to do a bit more mining. I might do that off camera. It's also becoming nighttime, so I get to go sleep in my new bedroom. You can see the interior is a bit lackluster. I'm going to go through that with you guys. And where's my bedroom? It's just up here. It's nothing special, nothing fancy. Just a little cubby space where I can just lay my head for the night. And then I want to leave this open so then I can just make my way out. Water bucket clutch. But I want to go through the interior design process with you guys. So I'm going to start off in this area here. And I'm going to bring all of my bits and bobs with me. Okay, so for the kitchen, I'm thinking crafting table here, because I need somewhere to craft all my bits and bobs. And then maybe my crafting table underneath this little pressure plate that I've got going on. Like that. And that against there, and then move this, put my stone cutter here, and then maybe the lantern there, just because I've already got one kind of at this level. Maybe one up there kind of breaks it up a little bit. In this corner is where I want all my furnaces and smoker to go. Do I want this many? Maybe just 3, and then some andesite walls and a polished tough stair right there because I've just pulled it from the counter. Yeah. Yeah? Oh, I think a detector rail would be nice there. How do I actually make a detector rail? The detector rail and put it on here. Oh, I don't like the way it's facing. There we go. And you know what would be neat? If I place a campfire just under it like that, you can see smoke, the smoke particles come up through the smoker. And it looks like this is just kind of being used. I know it isn't actually being used, but it gives it that effect. And I just think it looks just that extra bit nicer. Now, I think I need some storage, so maybe there and offset it a little bit. Start with a slab to give it kind of some structure and bring it across like that. That's very nice. Yeah. And these will house maybe like my food bits and my mob drops kind of can come in this kitchen area. Because there's not really much room for like a massive storage space. So I think if I put scattered pieces of storage around the house, it'll cause me to actually utilize the entire house. I think I've got a barrel under there as well, so that can be used. I think a cauldron over in this corner would look really nicely, kind of like a sink, and we can fill it up with our water bucket there. I will go grab some more water from somewhere. Continuing the tough countertop theme, place these either side like that. Maybe a flower pot with an azalea bush? Yeah, I think this looks really nice. And maybe another lantern up here. Maybe not a lantern. Maybe a flower pot with a jungle sapling? It's subtle, but it's a nice bit of greenery at the top of that storage up there. I like it. Okay, I think that is good for a kitchen. One thing I did want to do actually to break these rooms up a little bit was a bit of a partition wall here, because in a lot of Japanese style houses you get these partition walls, and I think that just looks nice. Maybe one more over, breaks it up, just oh yeah, it really breaks up these rooms. I think it looks amazing there, and I kind of want a plant there, so let's make a pot as well as a flower pot. Let's grab a bit of bamboo, and then let's grab just some regular azalea. And like that. There we are. That's just what I've got going on around the exterior of the build as well. I think I've got one here. No, that's the dead bush one. I've got them somewhere. There, look. And I just think that's really nice. It just looks really nice. And I think that's the kitchen. This is the main bit of the downstairs done. I will get to this bit later. I don't really know. Yeah, I'll get to this bit in just a moment. Now, heading upstairs, I wanted this to be kind of a study room. So if I place a lectern down and then, how did I want this set up? Maybe some bookshelves here, some chiseled bookshelves, a couple barrels in the corners here, bookshelf, chisel, bookshelf, bookshelf, chisel, bookshelf, like that. And then up here, I was thinking a clock, just so I can tell the time. And then I want a painting there, but I don't have any on me. Let me go grab them. So here is my clock, and my paintings are in my hotbar. And what options do I have? I like that one. Let's go for that one. Now, I kind of want like a little drawer here. So I think if I place down some barrels, put down some item frames like that, and then grab some deep slate, maybe the polished deep slate slabs. These would kind of act as handles. Yeah, and then put the spruce signs over the top, like so. Yeah, they look like drawers. I think that looks great. I also think I need a bit of a chair right here, because otherwise how am I going to be able to sit down and actually do some studying if I had nowhere to sit? Bringing some green into here. I would like a flower pot. Yeah. And then maybe another lantern, because you can never have too many lanterns. Just there. And I think this has come together very nicely. I do not like how these rooms are separated, though. So let's break down this wall Let's break down this wall as well. And let's get some more of that partition going. So some trapdoors here. And some trapdoors here. Maybe on this other side. Yeah, that looks really nice. I think for this room, a lantern there. And I want the same kind of potted plant in these corners. So one here. Some flower pots like so. Bamboo, and then regular azalea, flowering azalea. And then on this side, I will alternate it just to kind of break it up. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay. It's coming together. I have nowhere for proper bulk storage. So maybe I put it up here because I do like the high ceiling. However, I feel like I would benefit more from having more storage. So let's get some ladders in, and I think 6 high is the right amount for how much space I've got here, because I kind of want to put a window up there if possible, and then spruce slabs. It'll be easier if I go up and do this like so, and I've got enough light from this lantern up here, and if my calculations were correct, I should be able to break a hole here and have a window. Yeah. Okay, that's lined up very nicely. And I'll do this window the exact same as I've done this window here. I'll just recreate that up there when I have the materials in my inventory. Okay, so up here, I want a bunch of chests. Maybe not too many because I still want it to look nice. So if I rest them all on a little table, I guess that is, and then 1, 2, 3, I might be able to get 9 double chests here without it looking too bad. Let's get a crafting table in here because I don't want to have to go all the way down to craft things when I grab stuff from up here. Maybe anvil, or shall I place the anvil on some scaffolding and then the lantern on top of that scaffolding? Yeah, that looks nice. In the corner, a decorated pot with a dead bush. And this one is also around the outside, so that kind of ties in the outside, brings it a little bit of that inside. And I think the partitions could look really nice. So spruce on the bottom here, same on this side. And then bamboo, 2, 3. Yeah, and then on top here, some dark oak slabs to frame it. How's that? That looks, yeah, that looks good. This is bulk storage. And for when I have an elytra, if I'm still living here, because I don't know how long it's going to be until I get that, I can just jump out and fly off and fly back in. Very nice. This room, okay. Barrels, definitely barrels. Where are my barrels? Have I used them all? I've used all my barrels. Oh, and I have no more. I have no water to water bucket clutch out of the top floor. Okay, I'll grab some. I need to remember that. Sorted. Now I won't be breaking my ankles. Also, if anybody has a tip to stop these from growing, that'd be amazing, because I've tried shearing them because I thought you could trim the ends of them with shears like this and it'll stop them from growing, but apparently that doesn't work with vines. So I know about the invisible string trick, but it's not invisible and I'd still be able to see it. And I don't know how I feel about that. If it's the only way, I'll do it to stop them from getting in the way. But if anybody has any other suggestions as to what I can do about the vine situation, please let me know in the comments. And it's raining and you can hear it outside, but it doesn't sound terrible. So here I wanted 2 barrels. That's tough. Barrels. And I think this is where I'm going to put my armor. So like my armor storage and my tool storage and weapons. I need a lantern in here because it's a bit dark. Maybe a little bit of greenery, like a flower pot here. Yeah, okay. That looks really nice. And I will get some armor on this guy. It might take this armor when I eventually get out of it and go to maybe diamond. But this, I think this is everything. I think one thing that would really tie the entire build together would be some carpet. And the annoying thing is, I don't really like wool carpets. I prefer a moss carpet. I think I used moss in my hardcore series for the carpets. And I kind whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Where'd you come from? That's the... Do not go in my house. It's my house. That's the problem with living in the jungle, is that there's so many leaves and stuff that when it gets even remotely dark, mobs spawn like crazy. As I was saying, I think I use moss carpet in my hardcore world. And as much as I love moss carpet, I think it's too bright for these walls. And I kind of want to use pale moss. I did find a pale oak biome down here. So I might head down here, pick up some moss, run back, and use it as a carpet. Yeah, I'm going to go do that. And yoink. Pale moss has been acquired and carpets have been laid. I don't want to put it everywhere because it does this weird thing where it goes up on the walls. So I think just in the main entrance here, up here in this little area, it looks nice. And I think upstairs in the chest room, it looks really nice. But anywhere else, I just feel like it might make it a bit too messy because there's not really much room to put it. If I put it in here, it goes up across on the barrels, and I don't really like the way that that looks. So I'm just going to leave it, and I think in the areas that it is in, it looks really nice. Putting the carpet in has made me realize I completely forgot this main entrance room, so this is the next job. Now, I'm very excited to do this room because I'm going to do something really cool, which you've probably seen before on, like, Instagram and stuff, but I just think it's a really neat trick. So what you have to do is you have to place stair here, armor stands like this, because these are going to look like holders. And then for the first bit, I need my polished tuff there. So I place them, obviously I have to place them upside down like that. And then I get a piston like that, and then power it, and it should go into the armor stand, and then I repeat the same on the other side. So now we have this kind of table here with some armor stands, and these have been pushed slightly in towards the wall, which is okay. Because then on the next level, what we want to do is I'm going to place my one chain here and my lightning rod there. And you can probably see what I'm doing now. And then coming up, you want a piston, power it, piston, power it, and then you can break all this away. And then the final touch, one more chain right here, and boom, katana. Isn't that just cool? Isn't it cool that you could do that in the game? It's a katana. It's sick. Now, I've seen this loads of times on Instagram. I've seen loads of people do this. I've seen people use like end rods and stuff. You could probably find it anywhere if you just search Minecraft katana. I do not take credit for that, obviously, because I would have never have come up with that. Isn't that nice? It's so cool. I think that's really nice on this entranceway, because then anybody who's coming to rob the place can just walk in, grab the katana, and like steal anything. You know, so I'm just thinking of the little guy, you know? To tie it in together, I want some trapdoors, some flower pots with the flowering azalea, and finally a painting. Whoa, not that painting, not that one. I wanted a little 2x1. I don't like that guy. I don't like that guy. I don't like that guy. Hello? There we go. There's only 3 of these. One of them looks like Gru from the Minions, and the other one looks like, I don't know, Pinocchio or something. But I like this one. So that one's staying there. And finally, with that room, I think that is everything. So let me just give you guys just one last look over of the build. It's just, I love this so much. Honestly, I started treating this like it was a piece of art when I was in a creative world. I would place some blocks, fly away, realize that I didn't like the blocks, and then break them. And then try again. And once you get into that mindset with building, you can honestly do anything once you treat it like an art form. And even if you want to use other people's builds as inspiration, like other builders or YouTubers or creators, that's fine. As long as you're not copying one-to-one, use it as inspiration. You will learn over time, and you'll be able to put the things that you've learned by utilizing those things as inspiration into practice just freehand, and you won't have to look at much other buildings for you to be able to come up with something. But I'm not at that point yet. Hopefully, I want to be at that point, but just yet I'm not. So here we've got the main entranceway with my little katana set up. Walking into this little room here, not much going on, but it's partitioned off just ever so nicely. It breaks the build apart. Here's my kitchen, and then going up the little spiral staircase here, another little room just to kind of break the build up into my study area. And then my personal little quarters where I've got my bed up here with some extra little bit of storage and where my armor and tools are gonna go. And just hidden away at the top here, my bulk storage where all my building blocks and stuff are gonna go because they're not gonna fit in the barrels downstairs. So I think that's about all the time that I've got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video because I know I really did enjoy making it, and I am loving this build behind me. If you guys have any ideas of what I could do to it, because this bit's a bit blank, I don't really know what to do here, and some of the interior is a bit blank, so if you guys have any suggestions, be sure to leave them down in the comments below. And finally, what would you guys want me to name this place? I did the same thing in my hardcore series. I let you guys decide what a good fitting name for my builds would be, and I just like to see what you guys come up with. So if you have any ideas, be sure to leave a comment for that as well. But yes, that is about all the time that I've got for this episode. If you did enjoy, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.